All right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Prize pool.
Just as I deserve.
Prize pool.
Split 70-30. We're doing 70%, 30% on the prize pool. Winner gets 70%. Second place gets 30%. The prize pool is $120. 50 from me and 70 from you guys. It's Pig. D. Hudgco as well. Can we get a money count command? I mean, if you want to make it and update it. Or on-stream count. There you go. All right. And we're on the map contest maps. You can vote for these maps in the Team Liquid map contest that's happening right now. Thank you, Sadie Demon. Yeah, it's all going to them. Everything towards the prize pool is going to them. It's not going to me. I will get it to them, believe me. You guys will hold me accountable. But I want to welcome you guys into this impromptu Team Liquid map contest show match. There are 2.5 hours to vote. We're going to have a best of 7 to show them off. And I just realized that all the text is in really weird places now that I look at it. So, there you go. Maybe it's better over here. There. How about that? We just need more text on the screen. I think that'll solve everything. But let me introduce you to your players. In the bottom left. Nope, that's the right. It is from Root Gaming. From America. Puck. His opponent. From Australia. The Baconator himself.
Yes, yes, yes.
Playing
just
under Star-Lord.
Deserve.
Voting ends in 2 hours. That's why we're doing this. Thank you, Prometheum. Was that for the prize pool? $50? I thought test map. No. We're doing the map contest maps, but I want them playing on live because I don't want them... If they want to, I'll ask them if they want to do the balanced test map. But we're trying to do one thing at a time right now. We probably should do the test map. Yeah, whatever. I'll look at everything between the game. Let's get to the game. We're on the live server right now. We got Mothership Core and all that. Are we looking at all the map contest maps? No. I'm going to pick 7 of them. I'm going to include the ones I voted for because I'm biased and this is my stream. It is going to be my picks. The first 5 are going to be my top 5, and then maybe we'll add another couple in there for some variety. Yes, for the prize pool. All right, 170. Please vote for this map. He likes how the little squares. The interesting thing about Neon Violet, is it square? Neon Violet's, I'm pretty sure it's square, right? It has little terrain blockers. Small units like probes, zerglings, and marines can get through, but larger units like immortals, archons, or your mother cannot. So it makes it a little bit easier to expand. Oh my God, Puck! Already with the sneaky strats. He's got the Stargate on the low ground from the main. No one's gonna expect that. But the Zerglings are already sneaking around. They're actually dodging the Adept. Of course, Pig knows that's coming. Will he have any preparation here? He is expanding to the very back. There isn't a wall on this right side. Puck has walled off the front, but he hasn't quite made it around the side. Will the Wings actually go to the back and scout the Stargate is the real question. The Stargate isn't going to be incredibly unexpected. Stargate is very common. Some pretty great micro out of Puck, but still will be losing a pro. But on the other side, the Adept gets in. is going to pick up maybe 1 kill. Will the queen be able to take it out? It's shading. It's shading. It's not shading far enough. Thrown off the side. There is going to be an oracle on the way. Of course, around the 4-minute mark is usually when you're building spore crawlers, but important to point out, he did not make a mothership core, so this is about the quickest oracle you can get. He got the Stargate before the mothership core and didn't even waste any gas on getting that basic defense. Instead, he's all about getting the oracle out as quickly as possible. If Pig doesn't have a spore crawler, obviously you're going to lose a lot of momentum. If an oracle gets in your middle line and kills 6, 7, 8 drones. That's pretty simple. Alright, a Phoenix on the way afterwards. The oracle will fly by an overlord, so Pig immediately responding, getting his spore crawlers. He only has a single queen at the net. Now he's getting the spore up. Will it be up in time? What am I saying? What is this casting right now? Ooh, Puck.
Yes, yes, yes. Just as I deserve.
Your stream is lagging since 10 minutes.
Your stream is lagging since 10 minutes.
I don't think that's my fault. I don't think that's on my end. I've dropped 0.1% of my frames, so that's... Maybe it should go to your internet bills. But, how many kills did that get? 1 kill. Alright. 1 kill on the Oracle. As long as the Oracle is still alive, which he still has it, it doesn't really matter too much. The Oracle is not the Oracle it used to be. At least not in how people play the game today. The Oracle builds momentum over time. It gains more energy. And when it does, you have stasis wards all over the map. You have the option to just melt hatcheries and spore crawlers and pretty much everything on the ground. And that's what Puck's going to do. He's got 4 Stargates on the way. He's already trying to wall off this area at the 3rd. Pig has not really committed to too many Zerglings to actually cancel or pressure this 3rd base. So there's not going to be too many concerns there. Now Phoenix able to take out all the overlords around the base. I'm not sure. He has no vision of the Stargates now. He has no idea. Of course, Pig has dealt with this before. Every Zerg player has dealt with this, especially at the higher levels. The Mass Oracle plays, which everyone has an opinion on them. Everyone has an opinion on them, and a different way to try to deal with it. Let's hope Pig's is good enough. I don't know. I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. Because the Mass Oracle plays can look pretty fucking broken, is what I'm going to say here. If you get enough Oracles, you put them in the right place, you just kill everything. It's very simple. Of course, if you don't have quite enough Oracles, they all die, then you look like an idiot. So... Alright. The Oracles will be scouted out. There is a Hydraless Den on the way here for Pig. So we will be responding with the Hydras. Of course, the Lings dying to Oracles isn't going to help out. Okay, I need to reset here. I'm all thrown off. But he is going to go for the Infestation Pit immediately. This doesn't look like it's going to be some sort of timing, even though he is at 57 drones. 57 drones is not really enough to go into the later game. It's not enough to tech up and have the economy to continue building units and get upgrades and all of that. And really to compete with a 4-base Protoss player who's now taking this very back base, which is pretty much completely untouchable. Thank you all, WWW. He needs 60, 70. More like 75. But Puck is not letting that happen. Alright, he's just killing everything. If this map... Okay. Let's take it all from the top. This is a terrible cast. But great players. The Team Liquid map contest is used to determine the most favorite community maps. Some of the maps in the finalists and probably the winning ones will be in the latter map pool, either this season or the next. Usually 3 or 4 maps are switched out every season, and a lot of them do come from this map contest. So your vote counts. There's only been about 300 votes so far. So it makes an impact. The Oracle count reaching 15. Nothing else on the field. He's finally going for the Fleet Beacon. Eventually, you have to get carriers. Pig with a good counterattack with Zerglings. Gonna deny the 5th base. Puck not really paying attention because he's paying attention to trying to kill all these Hydras. The Oracle's not really on point. Not really all together to engage the Hydras, so he's gonna lose a couple extra. But Pig finds himself down at 78 supply, 56 drones. He doesn't have a hive. He has a handful of infestors on the way with pathogen glands, but the main base has been cleared out. Alright. 3 carriers. It's looking really good. This map does seem to be one you can easily wall off here. As a Protoss player, Puck actually chose to expand to the outside, which gives him a lot of space to just take a free base in the back. Now, important, I didn't even notice this before, but there's only 1 gas at this back base, so it's a safer base. It's a very safe base, but you only get 1 gas as the benefit. So it's not as valuable as a standard base with double the gas, obviously. There's a dream here for Pig. He's got infestors. He's now getting burrow. But the infestors have been scouted out by the Revelation. And it's that situation where, as a Zerg player, you know the game's not over. There's still a chance you get a fungal and kill every single Oracle. But even if you do that, there's 4 carriers on the way. So this is one of those games you stay in because we're doing a show match, as opposed to I'm on the ladder and I really want to play this out. He has 131 supply, but I'm telling you right now, this is not a fun situation. He has barely any creep spread. We're looking at 4 bases. He finally got up to 76 drones, but the problem is Puck already has carriers out. He's getting his air weapons. He's getting 5 bases, stasis wards, cannons. A mothership is starting. Everything's going right here on the Protoss side of things. Yeah, there are burrowed infestors. If he's able to get a catch on all the oracles, we can talk about it. Look, I know what I'm doing Friday night. Now, another thing Pig has going for him is the lack of Templar. There are no Templar. Now, the Storms are usually a much better counter to things like Corruptors in Archons and stuff like that. Against just Hydras, you don't really need them nearly as much. But Corruptors are really what force out the Storms in general. So even though there are no Templar, there are no Archons, the Storm isn't that huge a deal because he still has the ability to push these ground units away. He has stasis wards, he has the range of the carriers, he has cannons. Of course, Pig, he's in position, he's able to get a tag, catch a lot of these oracles. Alright, this is a great start. There are stasis wards up here. He is going to be able to take them out. Pig actually doing a great job of moving forward. He will trigger the stasis wards. There is a mothership, but there's a single overseer with this helping out. Unfortunately, the stasis ward caught a lot of his infestors with the energy. He's got money in the bank. I know I was saying it was pretty much over. I might have called it a little bit too soon. Of course, that's still a lot of carriers. He still has to get up this ramp. The stasis wards are crisscrossing pretty much the entirety of the map. Some lurkers are coming up as well. The carrier count has not reached deadly mass yet. He's only at 7. Once a few more come out, once +2 air weapons, once 2 Templar archives to research Storm twice as fast, that's how you can tell he really wants the Templar. He probably feels he's a little bit late on them. 2 Templar archives indicates he has a very heavy interest in Templar. Alright. The thing is, Puck is still on these 5 bases. He's still behind defenses. He's got these choke points to work with that make it very difficult for Hydras to move through. The carriers, of course, don't care about ground-based choke points. Oracle's finding a lot of lurkers in the middle of the map and just melting them. I'm not even entirely sure why they were here, but they're not going to be here anymore. Pig is doing everything he can. He's holding the ground forces back. He's going up to double spire. He's going to neural parasite. He's getting all these things he never thought he'd have the time to get. The problem is now that Puck is maxed out. He's getting his upgrades. He's getting Storm. He has 5 bases. He doesn't really have money in the bank, but he has the army. And it's still looking dicey. Pig has maxed out. Yes. But he doesn't really have the complexity in his army. He doesn't really have the upgrades. He doesn't have the transition. And he doesn't have the gas in the bank to really do a remax. So he's got to make a lot of cost-effective plays with a lot of not very cost-effective units. But it is up to him. Right now, all Puck has to do is sit back and build that Death Fleet. Some Templar underneath, some upgrades above. This map, as we're seeing it play out, is definitely a very defensive one. Much like Acolyte in the current map pool, where you can kind of pick up 3, even 4 bases without really too much trouble. Alright. Air weapons level 3 on the way. 2 Void Rays. I think he might have gotten wind of the double Spire. No. But at this point, if you're not trying to kill with Hydras, you're eventually going to Corruptors. Pig knows that. Also, of course, Puck knows that more relevantly. But if he's not trying to end the game with Hydras, you don't stay on Hydras. If you have unlimited time and unlimited resources, you don't want Hydras against Carriers and Templar. You need to have the air to fight with them in the skies, because there are just so many places that Puck can sit back behind his cannons, behind his walls, and just take the fight on his terms. But he's actually decided to move out. He does have the mothership. He can recall, assuming Neural Parasite doesn't come into play. But Puck is making a beeline towards the main. He does have that mothership once again for recall, but it is vulnerable to Neural. Will Puck recall now? He's missing his Templar. He needs those with the army if he's going to recall. Looks like he's actually going to go for the intercept. Is there any detection? There's no detection with this army. He just found himself a fleet over here. Will we see the recall? We're waiting for it. It looks like Puck still wants to pick a fight. He has some money in the bank. Pig has more. A lot of the interceptors are going down, but there's still 80 where that came from. Big fungals on the interceptors, actually. Wow. It's really hard to judge this because at some point there might be too many Hydras and it'll kill all the interceptors. But if there are not enough Hydras, then it's all just going to melt. Pretty slowly, but it's all going to melt. Down to 20 interceptors. Pig is actually taking out all of them. But if he can't finish off the carriers, it's not going to matter. It looks like almost none of the carriers will actually go down during this exchange. This is kind of a trade here. This means Puck has to go back. He has to wait for the interceptors to rebuild. He's lost a few of his Templar. Pig is I'm not going to say maxing. He's rebuilding Corruptors. That's not enough Corruptors. Those are +3 carriers, and they're pretty much locked and loaded once again. It takes about a minute to get all those interceptors back, but once you do, dealing with them a second time is infinitely harder. It's all just kind of starting to look like an inevitable... This is what we expected for the last 8 or so minutes here. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is what I expected it to look like at this point. It took Puck a little while to get there. Pig held on, but there's a lot of Corruptors coming out. He's gonna be looking at about 30. It's just a grind, is what it is. Alright. The fleet continues to swarm through. He's got a lot of Corruptors, but there's still a couple Storms underneath he can use. He chooses not to use them on his own interceptors, which is probably a smart move. And it looks like a lot of the carriers, and maybe even the mothership, are going to go down. Some fungals come out. But the damage is not there. The upgrades are not there. The supply is not there. And the game is not there. Puck will win game 1. Alright.
Yes, yes, yes. Just as I deserve.
For the prize pool. And you are doing fine with your cast. Feels good, man.
Alright. Thank you. That brings us up to a $200 prize pool. And remember, it's going to be split 70-30. 70%, 30%. And there are 2 hours left to vote in the Team Liquid map contest. Either or. I haven't played any of the test map. I think we'll just stick with live. Alright, we're on Catalyst, which is my favorite map. This is the one I voted for in first. Alright. Game 2. Best of 7. Hopefully we'll wrap this up right around the time the voting ends for the map contest. Make sure to get those votes in. Remember, you have to make a Team Liquid account and actually post in the thread. You can't just take the poll, otherwise it won't count. Just FYI. Let me update the score with my fancy observing skills. Alright. In the top left, down a game, but looking to fight his way back. It is Pig. Also known as Star-Lord. Because why not? And in the bottom right, from Root Gaming, Puck. We are playing on the live map. We're not doing the test map. We're just showing off these maps. Puck hasn't played really any test map, so I don't want to throw him into something where he has no idea what he wants to be going for. I want to see some high-level games, higher level than I could ever show you. So that's why we got these guys in here. Pretty early scout. Puck scouting off of Pylon. This will allow him to feel safe for a Nexus first. So what happens here, he scouted off of Pylon and didn't make a gate. So what he was looking for was, are you making a hatchery? Then I can take a Nexus. Are you not making a hatchery? Are you getting a pool and gas? Well then, maybe we need some gates, or maybe I need to get a forge or something like that, just to make sure I don't die to Zerglings. So he loses a little bit of money to scout early, but he gets more money in the long run by getting that Nexus. In fact, he is going to follow this up with a forge. He was looking for the opportunity. Will he actually go for the cannon rush off of this? It does seem like that is the case. A second probe is going out. It will be scouted. That second probe definitely is a tell. Will Pig be looking for it, though? I'm not sure if he realizes that was the second probe or if he was really paying straight up attention. But the second probe is definitely a tell. You don't send two probes out unless you have nefarious intentions. And it does seem like that is indeed the case here for Puck. He's actually out of vision range with these cannons up until now. Another cannon coming in. The Nexus will finish for Puck. He has plenty of probes. He's not building them at the moment. He wants these cannons. A drone is trying to escape, maybe to make a hatchery somewhere else, because he's starting to realize this hatchery is going to be under heavy and uncomfortable fire in just a few moments. It looks like Pig is going to be opting for the Roach/Ravager defense. I'm not entirely sure he's going to be able to defend this hatch in time. The Roaches and the Ravagers take a little bit too long. The Ravager Corrosive Ball, of course, can outrange the cannons, but the cannons do a lot of damage and far too quickly to save this hatch, I believe. Unless only one cannon's... No, they're both able to hit it. I was just wondering what was happening with that cannon there. The drone will get out, but it'll be hunted down by the probes. He needs to keep track of whether there are other hatcheries on the map. That's the important point here. Now, the cost of doing this for Puck is this gateway being incredibly late. We're at 3 minutes. He's just now finishing his gate. He's just now going to start his cyber core, but he's going to have plenty of probes and gas behind. So Pig has to break out of this about as cleanly as anyone could ever break out of anything. And then decide, am I attacking? Am I going all in? Or am I going to try to macro it out? And that's a really hard call, because there are 4 cannons in a pretty key position in front of his base. There's still a drone. He's trying to get a hatchery up with this drone. And it looks like he will be able to juke out the probe just long enough to get the hatch. Yes, okay. This is very important. He needs to, as quickly as possible, try to break out of this and force Puck on the defensive, because Puck is just building probes like a madman. He's able to tech up. He's going to have some cannons. There should be a mothership core coming out very soon. But if Pig isn't able to expand and macro up quickly enough, Puck is just going to have a huge economic advantage, and that's going to translate into probably a mid-game timing. And by mid-game, I mean 7 or 8 minutes, having just way more supply and workers and maybe even a third. That was a well-executed cannon rush. Pretty much minimal cost, but maximum benefit. He got the hatch, he forced out Ravagers, he denied an extra base, and he got his Nexus up. Everything went well here. And now Puck is in a pretty comfortable spot, as long as he doesn't lose the wall. If he loses the wall, he loses the cannons, the mothership core is taken out by corrosive bile or something like that, this gets dicey. But this is still a very good position for him. It looks like Pig is just going to start to work on these gateways. There will be stalkers. They will be stuck behind the wall. But this is all just buying time. Puck doesn't know this, by the way. Puck doesn't know 100% that there's going to be a bunch more drones, maybe a lair, anything like that. There could be a flood of Zerglings. There could be a Nidus network. Puck is not 100% sure of any of this right now. Has the Robo been scouted? It will be in a moment. Actually, Pig finding a high ground pylon. What a position that's in. But the gates will go down. A couple Stalkers and the Mothership Core will force these Ravagers back. Some Lings will be the cost. But the choice is a Stargate. I mean, a Spire on the other side. Whereas for Puck, it's going to be a Stargate. Oh. Hits the pylon on the way out. The Overlord, unfortunately, going to go down as well. But we're already at kind of an odd situation. The Stargate will be on the way. That is a vulnerability, and I think Puck is starting to realize that because that wasn't an all-in out of Pig. He made 4 Ravagers. He needed those to break out of the cannons. Well, maybe 5 total. He needed those to break out of the cannons. He put on some pressure, but there was no speed. There were no other units. There was no Nidus. What's happening? There's something happening. It's not just drones and Ravagers. There's something else happening, and it's going to be the Spire. It appears that Puck has somewhat predicted this, but there are going to be 6, 7 Mutas out, and there aren't going to be any Phoenixes for a time. So if this attack comes out, if he's able to snipe the Mothership Core itself, ooh. Some Stalkers actually being warped in. This is starting to look like a pretty strong attack, and he is bringing the Mothership Core with it, so he can recall as long as it doesn't get sniped. Pig has no idea this is coming. That's not enough. That's not enough Mutas in order to be able to overwhelm this army. This is a low-risk, high-reward situation here for Puck in the first place. Oh, no. A Muta going to be found out. One going to be sniped off. That's a lot of his army right now. Some corrosive bows are coming out, but Pig is almost supply blocked as it is. He has a handful of Mutas. He's making some Lings, trying to take some shots. Puck, not paying attention, loses the Mothership Core. Okay, there is risk now. This hatch going down makes it a lot tougher to even have the units to overwhelm this army. The Mutas are at the back. There's a single cannon. Pig trying to find an opportunity. The cannons are actually already in place. There's an Oracle in the main as well. I'm not even sure when this got in here, but it's in a great position. It will pick up 11 kills on the drones. Pig getting hit from all angles and not able to deal it back. It does look like Puck is going to hold on strongly after the cannon rush and find himself in a solid 2-0. Yeah, a little bit of fancy footwork there. Well, I guess not footwork. He will try to land the corrosive biles, but Puck with the well-executed cannon rush and then the well-executed cleanup. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Puck has gone up 2-0. We're going to put him on the test map. I know Pig has played a lot of the test map, a ton of test map. Puck has played none. So we're going to give Pig a slight advantage there. We're going to put him on the test map where Puck will have to learn how to work without a mothership core. And with the new stalkers and everything. Alright. And we're going to be playing Neo Tropicana. But first, I'm going to tell you guys to go vote in the Team Liquid map contest. If you haven't voted yet, you got a couple minutes. I will be right back before we get into Game 3 here. But use the map contest command. And make sure to have a Team Liquid account. But here you go. Voting ends in less than 2 hours. Alright. I'll be right back 1 moment before we get started. But I'm going to give you a 2-minute break. Alright. Thank you guys for sticking around. Hopefully, now that we're... ready to go. Get those votes in. There's music, though. I never listened to the menu music for StarCraft. It's been years. Go. We are on the balance test mod and on Neo Tropicana. It's 2-0 for Puck over Pig here. But now, with those two matches on the live map, Puck has not played, apparently, any of the test map. And Protoss has some pretty dramatic changes. The keys are no Mothership Core, but the addition of the Shield Battery changes to the Stalker. For Zerg, there aren't too many changes early on, but later on you have some changes to the Infestor. The Lurker Den's a little bit easier. No vertical spawns. Horizontal or cross are the only spawns on this map. Vertical spawns would be way too close to rush distance. Good thing we realized that. Alright. In the bottom left. Down 0-2. Can he bring it back on this tropical map? Star-Lord, also known as Pig. And, of course, Puck. This time, finally opening up with what looks to be a gate expand. Now, some interesting things about this map in particular. I voted for it not because I think it's the best design map. Not because I think it's the coolest layout. I voted for it on looks. Alright, I like the look of it. I think it's a pretty... For a 4-player map, it's pretty standard, and there are only essentially 3 spawns, because you can't spawn vertically. But I think it looks real good. So that was a major factor in me voting for it. Just to be very honest there. Some more interesting things, though. The watchtowers are actually rocked out. So you can eventually take the watchtowers, but you have to take down several sets of rocks. So the watchtowers only really come into play in the later game, because it takes a while to take these things down. Of course, those are also natural choke points as well, until they are removed. Alright, Puck will get the scout. He will see that Pig is opting for Zergling speed, and he's still getting gas behind this. This is very intentional. This isn't just like, well, I'm in gas, I'm going to stay in gas. There are 2 splits in builds you get after Zergling speed. One, you pull out of gas, you go for a quicker third. The second one, which he's probably... Oh, wait, no, I take it all back. He's making a Roach Warren, which is why he's hiding it in the very back. I was about to say, get Overlord speed and use that to scout. But it does look like, especially in order to take advantage of the lack of the Mothership core, and especially if Puck doesn't make any shield batteries, a Ravager or Roach Ling all-in could be incredibly effective. 7 or 8 Roaches with a ton of Lings. If you don't have the unit count or you don't have the battery set up, you will get broken. And he's not adding any more drones, so Pig definitely has some aggressive intentions here. The third base not being taken. Of course, he has a second option for a base underneath his main, but neither of these are the options being taken here by Pig. It's just a single gate with a Twilight Council behind. But Adepts, not known for their effectiveness against roaches. No units, also not known for their effectiveness against roaches. It looks like Puck has kind of figured out how he wants to wall this off. He's just gone for the inner wall, which is definitely going to be more vulnerable to an early bust like this. The Adept will get a scout. There's been a scout that there is no third. I think at this point, Puck's starting to realize the situation. He's going to go in. There's 0 drones there. And now he's going to see the roaches in just a moment. Yeah, he sees the roaches on the way across. We're going to see a wall. Will there be a shield battery? No, he's going for the gates. The robo's almost done. But it is at the front. He's going to need some more pylons. It looks like he has completed the wall here. But the robo's at the very front, and it can just be taken out. Just right off the bat. The Cyber Core, also a very vulnerable point. He is going to lose it, but he is going to get a warp in. There is a Dark Shrine on the way, but this is a lot of roaches and lings. We are on a map where it's not easy to scout early on. There are no shield batteries here. The robo's going to fall, and it does look like Pig might just be able to bash through the front and end this game nice and quick, just like the last one. A single sentry. He's about to have 1 powered warp gate. Make that none powered warp gates. The Dark Shrine is nearly done, but I don't know if a single DT is going to make the difference here. The units are caught on the ramp, and Pig is goring his way through the front of the base. It looks like he is just going to die. GG. A well-chosen cheese there out of Star-Lord. And an earned victory. All right, some quick matches so far. Alright, we're going back to the live map. We'll go back to the test map. No, we're giving Pig a handicap. If he goes down by 2 games. That's what that was. Because Puck has not played the balanced test map. Pig has played a ton of it. But Puck, I think we could say, is a more accomplished player, just in general. Though Pig has some wins under his belt as well. But Pig has definitely been a lot more focused on the balanced test map, where Puck is still playing competitively on the current patch. If all of this makes sense as I explain it. But for those who don't know, we're playing on the Team Liquid map contest maps. There's about an hour and a half left in voting. You can use the map contest command. This map is Blackpink by Avex. All the maps we played tonight are from the map contest. And get your vote in. All you have to do is have a Team Liquid account, say you voted, and fill out the form. That's it. It takes about, well, it should take several minutes if you haven't looked at the maps yet. But the map contest command gives you all the information and also what I voted for if you're interested in that. Alright. Now, Blackpink is a 2-player map, and it's quite large. It's pretty standard in the sense you expand forward, there's a secondary ramp, it's relatively defensive with a somewhat long rush distance, but it's not a huge map, and it's not a multiplayer map, aka over 2 players. Thank you, Hot Dog 69 Whitman, for the sub. Pig going for the hatch first. He's got the pool gas behind as well. Whereas Puck going for the gate expand. So far, we're looking to be pretty standard here. We'll have to see if Pig goes for another sort of attack. This map definitely not as conducive to it. The rush distance is longer, the ramp is harder to break, and of course the mothership core will exist. The probe going to get a scout around. There are 2 options for third bases, especially as a Zerg player. As a Protoss, those options might be a bit more limited. Usually you do want to be on a high ground with better choke points, whereas a Zerg, you would rather be in a more open area that allows you to get a better surround on units, and just in general be able to get flanks and stuff like that. Alright. Pig is continuing to mine gas, but it looks like he will be going for the speed, pulling off a gas, and opting for a third in just a moment. A single Adept on the way, so Puck not going for a Stalker in order to repel any Overlords, which means he's probably not trying to hide any dramatic tech. He does have a Twilight, and we saw last game he was going towards the direction of Archon drops, but Pig just made it so he never got there. That was the situation. Alright, the third the third base being taken on the low ground by Pig. He's going to be able to utilize that more open area around the base. And, of course, coming down the ramp can be pretty dicey as well. There's a vision blocker here, which can work both ways, but usually works in favor of the defender because they are more likely to have vision in this area. Now, the question is, okay, there we go. We have the Robo. There should be a Dark Shrine in just a few moments. The Robo after the Twilight indicates DT drop. That's, yeah, there you go. 90% of the time, that's what you're looking at. If the Robo is before the Twilight, you might be looking at something more like an Immortal Charge Lot all-in, something along those lines. But the Twilight, then the Robo, usually means DT drops. It doesn't mean Adepts, because you don't really have enough money to be able to get Adepts, get Glaives, and get a Warp Prism across the map. The money doesn't come together quickly enough. So that's really what we're looking at here. More Gates and a Warp Prism should be coming up in a moment. And the real question is, 1... will Pig realize what's going on and prepare for it? And 2, once he does, how does he deal with it? Because just because you know it's a DT drop, and he doesn't yet, just because you know that's what's happening, or an Archon drop, doesn't mean you can stop it. I feel the need to point out Neeb in this case. It doesn't matter if you know the Archon drops are coming. It doesn't mean they're not going to do damage. It's one of those builds that, if controlled well, and Puck is definitely someone known for that, is going to get damage done one way or another. The War Prism will be scouted out. Pig will have vision of all of this, thankfully. He has a Roach Warren on the way. So he's going to be... how many roaches do you invest in here is another question. He's got a pretty quick lair, and he has no evolution chamber. So this looks like it's going to be a straight speed roach counterattack. What Pig is going to be trying to do is delay any sort of pressure here. Delay any sort of DT pressure, and then immediately counterattack with speed roaches. This seems to be the direction he's taking, because he has no intention of upgrades, it seems. He's blocking the bases. He's going to want to get speed on those roaches, and before a third base can come up from Puck, counterattack. Should be seeing that any second now. That's a very key upgrade. Of course, the DTs are trying to come in. The Overseer comes out. A Queen actually assassinated by the Ninja Templar. But the War Prism is actually pushed away rather quickly. Speed. I'm starting to question, like, is he actually going to be going for the roaches now? Because this is a little bit late to be on the... Okay, there's the roach speed. Because there's no upgrades on the way. There's no other tech. It's kind of odd to not get roach speed. So just a little bit of distracted by the War Prism, of course. Now, the denial on the third base for Puck. 6 minutes is really late in Legacy of the Void for a third base for a Protoss. Usually, some players will go by 4. Most players will try to get it by 5, even when they're doing this sort of pressure. 6 minutes and a third Nexus hasn't even started. This is great for Pig right now. He's got 62 drones. He's got a Hydraless Den, which just completed. He's got speed roaches and soon-to-be speed hydras with extra HP and movement speed. That's what speed means. Great job. He's going to have those all on the field. And while the lack of upgrades is going to hurt, the fact that Puck doesn't have a third base means he also can't really have the tech and the upgrades himself to make a huge impact. So this is actually looking pretty nice. If you're Pig, you're pretty comfortable now. Maybe looking at a fourth base. If you're feeling extra greedy in Infestation Pit, but right now he's feeling like he's in a position to possibly counterattack and do damage, or just macro up. He's feeling very comfortable because the War Prism did next to nothing. Yeah, that's a very healthy worker count, a very healthy base count, and he's even got some creep spread, which isn't always a given in this matchup. Okay. Puck is coming around. He's got a lot of sentries. There is no Mothership Core with this, and remember, there are Archons. Some more Hydras are coming up, but a few force fields in the right spot, and that makes this much more dangerous. There is a lot of creep up to this. This is very risky to do without a Mothership Core. So Puck, he needs to handle this well. If he can get in, get a base, get out without suffering any major losses, that'd be very nice. And of course, there is a very force fieldable ramp on this side. Puck doesn't want to risk it. He's trying to come up this ramp. The cooling tower, it could potentially be taken out. I think Pig just gives up this base. He knows this is not a position he wants to fight into. He needed a few Ravagers to be able to break these force fields. Puck will continue down. This is not really an angle he can fight into, though. He gets the fourth base. He gets what he came for. And just rotating around to get creep spread. This many force fields keeps your army alive. It keeps your army alive, but will it allow him to fight is the question. Because Pig is quickly gaining a lot of supply here. This is still a rough position to fight into. Puck does have another base on the way, but he doesn't have any upgrades. He doesn't have charge. He doesn't have that much meat besides a handful of Archons. We'll see some possibly preemptive corrosive vials segmenting off the army. The force fields are ripped away. The War Prism targeted down. Pig on the chase. The force fields are there. We'll delay this push, allow him a little bit more time to retreat to his base, but it seems like Puck has overstayed his welcome, and Pig is kicking him out. Another couple force fields will really segment off this army. But Puck can't really risk a fight here and lose too much momentum. He's already in a precarious spot as it is. He's out of force field. He's got to rely on just brute force. The rocks were taken down by in a little bit more time, the natural force field. But there's nothing left to really cut this army up. It's just a lot of Zerg force coming across the map. The creep spread was delayed, but no workers were killed. The fourth base was taken out. But now Pig's looking at a lot of momentum. There's only a single Archon. There's barely any force fields. He gets into a nice position. Puck is forced to fight into a concave, into Hydras, with Ravagers in the back. The Time Warp is not going to slow down units that don't even need to move. The Banelings are trying to roll through the front, and there's no Archons to soak them up. Even Pro's being caught in the crossfire. And Immortal, very sad and very dead, not living up to its name. Trying to hold the Stalkers at the third, taking out the Robo at the front. Pig is looking to tie things up. A single Disruptor is on point. Will it take the shot? Yes, it will. A good shot into the center mass, but there just aren't enough units. Pig was able to get the momentum, repel the Warp Prism, and pick up the 2-2. All right. Pretty good defense on that Archon drop there. That's something to take some notes from. The minimal Roach defense, but the build was there, and he suspected it from the start. All right. Let's give him another AVAX map. Backwater. "90 minutes left on voting for the map contest. Pig needs a minute. The prize pool is $200. 50. I put up 50. You guys put up 150. 70% is going to the winner. 30%. So that would be 140-60 right now to the second place finisher. There are 90 minutes left to vote. Pig needs a minute. You can use the multi-command for all the streams. Make sure to follow everyone. But thank you guys for watching. These are the Team Liquid map contest maps. If you vote, you can influence the next ladder pool. But I'll give you a direct link that you should follow the directions. Everyone can vote. There's no requirement. You don't even have to own StarCraft to vote. Though, you're probably more invested if you do. Thank you, Cuddy44. You need a Team Liquid account. 30 seconds. You don't even need to email verify on Team Liquid, at least from what I remember. Maybe for, like, having a stream or something, but not to vote. Alright. Pig's been streaming for like 10 hours. He forgets the score of the match. Only one of these maps? So, there are 15 finalists. The people vote. It's ultimately Blizzard's decision which maps get added, but the winning map almost always gets added, and several of the top maps do as well. For example, Odyssey was the winner of last season. Is the situation, so... Go. 2-2. We're going on the Backwater, which is another macro map. We're not playing on the test map, we're playing map contest maps, but we're playing on the current patch, is the situation. So, it's just like they would play on the ladder, just with different maps is the situation. I think that's one of the most exciting things about StarCraft. I know it's pretty difficult for newer players to learn new maps, but I think that's an important part. A lot of the imbalance, especially below the very top level of StarCraft, is based around maps. Is based around maps as opposed to races. Like, if a map is wide open and everywhere you try to expand can easily be surrounded, then Zerg is going to do better. If you can take a third base that can't be attacked on the ground, then probably Protoss is going to like that. I don't want to die that again. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment anymore. I don't want to distract him. This is actually like there's a lot of money on the line now. $140 is nothing. Is not nothing. All right. And it's 2-2. Puck convincingly took the first 2 maps. We went over to the balanced test map as well, the third game, and Pig abused the fact that Puck didn't really know how to defend anything without a mothership core. And then Pig with a solid defense of the Archon drop into a solid transition of Roach Hydra. Took map 4. Now we're on map 5 on Backwater by Avex, which is a pretty standard macro map. And each player is 2 games away. Remember, you still have 90 minutes to vote. You actually have less than 90 minutes now. Use the map contest command in the chat. You can see what I voted for. Get your votes in. Don't wait. If you wait, you might lose your opportunity. Alright. A Stalker was the choice first, and then he canceled and went for an Adept. I'm not sure if that was just a mistake to start, or if he was considering maybe trying to kill an Overlord, and then thinking better of it. There are a lot of high grounds to work with. But we'll have to see. Third base is pretty open, but it is quite a rush distance to the other side as well. The Stargate is the choice. The Stargate probably the safest opener, because the Stargate allows you to potentially get damage done and defend. If you go for a Twilight Council or even an Archon drop, there are direct counters, like the Roaches and Hydras we saw the last game. It looks like the Lings actually will get in. This is not ideal here for Puck. He has to lose a lot of mining time. Even a couple probes going down. But actually some pretty great circling micro, and importantly a scout on the Stargate as well. A Stalker will come out and start to delay this a little bit, but some significant mining time was lost. The Stargate was found out. The Adept, though, able to pick up... Okay, it's one kill. They both killed one worker. So it wasn't that big a deal. But it definitely... Well, looks like it goes both ways. As both players with some reduced mining time as a result of early harass. Oh, looks like this is not a high ground here. He needs to move to this point. He's not going to get there. Wait. Okay. I was about to say, is this... Can you just run through here? No, this is walled off. There is a Reaper jump cliff and maybe some access with Dropper Lords. But this third base pocket is not accessible on the ground without going through the wall. That's important to point out. Maybe siege tanks, but there are no siege tanks in Protoss versus Zerg. For better or for worse. Alright. Some spores are on the way. Pig taking full advantage of the information he got. A lot of drones, barely any gas investment. He has 200 gas. We should be seeing a lair in a second. And if he's going to invest in roaches, now's the time. But there should be a lair and maybe an Evo chamber on the way to be able to spend some of this gas once he deals with the Oracle. And actually, that's one way to do it. Pretty sizable mistake there out of Puck. There's the lair and the Evo chamber. You do not want to lose. Losing that first Oracle really hurts. You lose your ability to do stasis wards, to help defend against Zerglings, Revelations. That is a costly mistake, and that's going to allow Pig to drone up even harder, be more comfortable, just continue to expand his creep without really being worried about anything now. Alright, 3 more Oracles, because where he had 1, now he'll have Moracles, which has become a very common strategy, especially on maps where your third base can be defended. Now, obviously here, your third base is pretty easy to be defended because you can't hit it from the ground. All you have to do is defend the front wall, and with a few stasis wards, some cannons, you can lock that down, which makes Oracles a very comfortable strategy to go for, because by the time they have enough to break through, you have in the double digits. But it is going to be a full macro game. Pig is going for a 4th. He's up to 63, going on 70 drones. +1 ranged attack, so he knows the direction this is going as well. If he was going Hydroling Bane, we'd usually be seeing the melee attacks, but I don't believe there is a Baneling Nest. No, there is not. There probably will be, but not at the moment. It actually looks like he wants a lot of Hydras right off the bat. Yeah, there we go. Banking up a little bit of money while that Hydra Den is finishing up. So has Pig reached the drone count he's comfortable with? Does he just go straight through? Does he just build up this Hydra count and try to overwhelm with a critical mass of Hydras? Because it's all about critical mass. If you have too many Oracles, all the Hydras die. If you have too many Hydras, all the Oracles die. It's rarely an even fight. It's not like, I guess, Marines and Widowmines against Zerglings and Banelings. It's not a trade. One side usually wins convincingly, is how these fights go. Alright. 4 Oracles on the 4th. Will the Hydras respond in time? That's a lot of damage coming out. Will Pig even try to deal with this? No, he's just moving to the main. I guess he's going to abandon that 4th base. Bringing the Hydras around, but a little bit too late. A lot of energy is gone. Remember, it costs 25 energy to activate that pulsar beam. Alright. That's still a lot of Hydras. 24 against 11. This is more than enough to kill these. They have +1. They have muscular augments. Puck is going to need some stasis wards, and he needs more oracles. If he could get some cannons, that'd be great, but the forge just finished. Looks like he doesn't even want to invest. He just wants to try to fight. Even a couple zealots, even a few units. Is it time to go? He's going for it. Will Pig have what it takes here? Is the damage there from the oracles? And in the one rare scenario, we see a pretty even trade. But the Hydras do mount. Is there the follow-up? More Hydras are on the way across. More Oracles are being built. Remember, a lot of energy was expended on the Oracles that did survive. That's a rare sight there, is seeing almost an even trade. But, unfortunately, the Oracle's getting caught out. 2 more going down. Puck is looking to be in a pretty dicey position, trying to hold on to his 4th base. You cannot be losing this many Oracles if you want to defend. It's very simple. A Changeling at the wall! Not that it's going to block too many units out, but it doesn't hurt. 3 more Oracles on the way. The cannons are trying to come up. Probes are being taken out. He still has 70 in the bank. He's not hurting for workers. He's just hurting for army. But the cannons are not going to be here to help out. Maybe 1 or 2 will finish, but Oracles on the way as well. Are there enough Hydras? A Zealot and an Adept. But the Oracles will be able to melt through the Hydras as Pig continues to step onto the gas. The energy is just barely there to drive it back once again. The worker count is dead even. The bases are about to be even. The thing is, Pig has committed to this strategy. He's going down this road. You can't do a U-turn. There's no going back from this. If the Oracle count rebuilds, you can't just stop going for Hydras now. You can't transition into Corruptors. You simply do not have the time. If he lays off the gas even for a second, then the carriers start to come up, more cannons, maybe even Templar for Storm. There isn't time to transition. That's an obvious question. Why isn't he going for Corruptors? Why isn't he going for Infestors? If he stops attacking and these Oracles build up energy and build up numbers, he will get run over before he gets any of this tech. Of course, he needs to spend his money. 12 more Hydras. Are there enough Oracles here? He doesn't want to take the fight. No Oracles will go down, but that hurts pretty bad. There's some Zealots. These are just to put bodies in front of the Hydralisk and draw some fire. The Zealots are 100% there to give their lives for ire. Alright. 15 more Hydras. No Stasis Swords. Not too many cannons. Changelings being taken out. This position, this little choke point, are there enough? That's a lot of Oracles. We're looking at 13, but there are 38 Hydras on the map as well. It's a numbers game. It's also about how the engagement. If a few Oracles go down and they're not really connecting with the Hydras, well, the Hydras can take it. If the Oracles are able to get a nice position, especially underneath the cannons with the Zealots in front, the Oracles can melt through. It still could go either way. There's a Baneling nest potentially to take out the cannons and all the Zealots, and soon Charge will be coming up to allow them to get even closer and up in the faces of the Hydras. It's 195. A maxed out Zerg with Banelings on the way against a Protoss getting very close, building stasis wards, getting Charge, and having cannons. That's a lot of Oracles as we consider... This is almost a mono battle right now. But that's 52 Hydralisks against only 18 Oracles. Without the cannons, without the Zealots, without maybe a Stasis Ward or two. This is a lot of Zerg. Yeah, the Stasis Wards will be taken out. But they will buy a little bit more time. Charge is not quite done. Is it time to go? He's got the Zealots in front, but the Banelings will connect. Here comes Pig with everything he's got. The Banelings are doing their best. The Hydra count is so damn high. The Oracles are trying, but they're not trying hard enough. All knocked out of the sky, alongside with over 100 supply. And Puck is down under 100, has the overcharges. He has a handful of Zealots, but the Oracles are gone. And the Hydralists are looking to finish the job. All right, another gate. A handful of cannons are all that stand between Puck and being on match point. Are there any more overcharges? There are not. He used them all. The probes are actually starting to go down, despite the fact he has a lot of them. Another Oracle. He's trying to warp in as many Zealots as possible. He's trying to cut off the reinforcements. He's actually doing a pretty good job. The Hydras are into the natural. They're into the production. He needs to hold the main. He's building Tempests to have some extra ground damage. More cannons and more probes are going to go down. There's over half the probes at this base. He's warping in some more Zealots. Puck trying to pull off the defense. The forces, the reinforcements have been consolidated, and the Hydras are being cut off here. Another wave out of Pig. Puck is trying to hold on, but the Hydralist count is too high in almost every location. A handful of Tempests are here, but that's so many probes going down. He's down to 45, 40, oh, almost 50 or more have been killed so far. Looking for some counter damage with the Oracles. He's going to find a lot of the drones, actually. But what is there to actually hold? Maybe he can get some sentries. The Oracles are looking for an opportunity, but the Hydras will just come back. They'll intercept them. Well, they'll find them. Take out 3 out of 5. And it's now looking like he's shutting the door here on Puck. No Templar for Storm. Nothing to really do the damage he needs to kill all these Hydralisks. Yeah, 3 Tempests are a very optimistic counter. The Oracles are going to come in, find a lot of drones. He's down to 50 drones. If only had a few Storms, a few Moracles. Puck tried to hold on, but Pig was able to get his Hydra count high enough in time. And he should be taking it from here. Yeah, there's a handful of Zealots. He's down to 25 probes. Not that there's anywhere to mine from here. Puck, I mean, he's making it interesting with these Tempests. He has a handful of cannons. He has nowhere to mine from. And Pig can just go back and make some workers of his own. There is literally no production anymore. The gates are gone. The Stargates are gone. That's about that. All he needs to do is get underneath these Tempests and finish things off. Alright, the Tempests are very cost-effective when Hydras can't shoot them. The thing is, Pig has 68 drones, he's going on 5 bases. Puck is enjoying his Tempest. That's about it right now. A couple Zealots are not enough. GG. Alright. It will be 3-2. It's tilted back in favor. That balanced test map game definitely giving Pig the momentum. But... You know what would be really mean? No, I won't put him on Arch of Janus. Or Battle on the Boardwalk. I won't do that. We'll do... Because I don't think these guys have really played... No, Eastwatch is one of my favorites, actually. It's one of the ones I voted for. Remember to vote! Remember to vote. You have 70 minutes. Use the map contest command. Use the multi-command if you want to watch all streams at once. Remember to vote in the voting thread, not in the finalist thread. This is important. If you don't vote, maybe we will never do something like this again. All right, you like this tournament? Well, this show match, this impromptu set of matches with some of the best players and most entertaining streamers. Then go vote. The more you vote, the more people are motivated, not just me, to do this kind of stuff again. But well, actually up 3-2. Let me fix that. From Australia. Pig. Twitch.tv/x5_pig. Usually a random player. Arguably the best, I guess, regular random player in the world. Better than me by a pretty large margin. It's Pig. Of course, his best race is Zerg. He's actually qualified for WCS as Zerg before. He knows Puck is quite a competent player, so he chose to go Zerg for the highest level of matches, and it's paying off. He's up 3-2. And on the other side, from America, it is from Root Gaming Puck. So, some interesting things about Eastwatch. Of course, the TL map contest map. Thank you, X Big J. Welcome back, 38 months in a row. Glad you still enjoy.
38
but
months.
There's a couple interesting things. Early on, it's pretty easy, especially as a Protoss, to defend. But the third base is where things get more interesting. You have a safer blue base, a pretty standard one. Thank you, Yura Otoko, as well. And then you have a gold base. You have a gold base as a potential third base as well. It's a little bit off to the side. It's a little bit further on the ground. But especially maybe for Terran players lifting their command centers over, that might be a bit more appealing. So the gold base isn't entirely inaccessible, and especially as a fourth, that can be taken. Also to point out, there are a lot of rock towers and just generally rocks on the map. I'm not usually a huge fan of maps with a ton of rocks all over the place. It's a little bit of a crutch, but I think it works out because there are a lot of alternative directions you can go, even along the parts that aren't rocked off. So, I think it's an interesting layout, and I like the look of it as well. I love the red trees and all of that. Also the tracks showing you which direction to take. I think it's pretty cool. Alright. What will we see here? Is there a Twilight Council? There are 2 gates out of Puck, but no tech yet. There's the Stargate. Does Pig get a beat on that right as it comes down? No, not quite. Of course, a single Zergling can come up and see if it is so inclined, but he's going to have an idea. There are really only 2 openers in Protoss versus Zerg, unless you're doing some sort of crazy all-in, but okay, there are 2.5 openers. One involves a Twilight Council, the other involves a Stargate. The Stargate builds are Oracle into either a bunch of Adepts or into Moracles, and then the Twilight is either an Archon drop or maybe Glaive to Depth Pressure. Glaive to Depth Pressure has fallen out of style a little bit because Zerg players have become, ironically enough, very adept at handling it. but it can still happen. It can still catch players off guard, but it's definitely not as common as it was, instead favoring the Archon drop. Of course, this time we're going for an Oracle. The question will be, does he take a third off of it, and does he add more Stargates, or will he try to transition into ground units? Pig right now, unfortunately for him, hasn't gotten this information, so he's making a Roach Warren, though I almost guarantee you that Pig, who's making drones, making a third, and making a lair, does not really want roaches against this. But he thinks this could be an Archon drop, or a DT push. So that's why he's getting the lair and the Roach Warren. But unfortunately for him, the Oracle's going to show up. And roaches aren't really the greatest counter to a Stargate opener because things like Void Rays exist. Or Phoenixes in general. They're just not able to punish it nearly as much. Some cheeky spores going down there. Gonna try to target the larva. The queen will eventually do enough damage to push it away. But a pretty nice position so far for Puck. He's able to get his third. He's taken down the rocks to cut off one of the entrances to the base, making it a little bit more difficult. Eventually the Phoenix, and he's using the... I love the war chest skin on the Phoenix, by the way. I'm a big fan of that one. Even though it's a little bit bugged out, sometimes you use the lift and it shows the wrong color on the Phoenix. But there we go. 3 more Stargates. This map may be a little bit more conducive to going for all those Oracles. As he's able to get these rocks down. We'll see if he gets the Forge a little bit more quickly. Well, I was about to say some Lings are targeted down, but the Lings are locked in now. And the overcharge isn't helping things. Pig trying to find a couple probe kills here. He might find 1 or 2, not that it matters too much. And does he have the information about the Stargates? I mean, he can suspect it, for sure. But you gotta say, this is definitely not as comfortable a position for Pig as it was in the previous game. The previous game, he knew all about this. He knew what was happening. He was already prepared for it. He didn't make an extra Roach Warren or anything like that. This game, he's taken some losses. He hasn't killed any Oracles. And Puck has been able to get his third base up very, very cleanly. So this is feeling a lot better here for Puck. But, of course, a strong Hydra timing. Especially if any Oracles are... Ooh, that was dangerous. Especially if any Oracles are lost. Could be the difference. Alright. He knows what's coming. He's looking for a 4th base here. If there's no 4th base, you know what this is. 1 Oracle going down. Everyone hurts. Every single one. A lot of the rocks being taken out. Puck trying to keep track of these Hydras without getting too close. Of course, it's playing with fire there. Some pylons being set up. Will Pig go right through the center? It looks like he will. He's not going to try to go around the side. He's taking the direct path. The pylons are already set up. The overcharges are here to defend. Buy time for more Oracles to complete and more energy to generate. Uh-oh. Another one going down. Are there enough forces here? He whips in a couple more Zealots. Puck is trying to hold on. He does have a Forge. No cannons yet. He's starting to build them. There are the overcharges. He's really trying to hold on here. It's more worth it to have 2 or 3 more Oracles. A single Stasis Ward. I don't know if that was scouted out. He does have the Overseer. But if the Stasis Ward connects on more than a few Hydras, the supplies aren't that different. It's a lot of Oracles there. Oh, unfortunately, I don't think he sees the Stasis Ward. I don't think he sees the Stasis. Oh, a huge Stasis Ward! Locks out half the army! This changes everything! As Pig is now going to get cleaned up, these units are going to be locked in. That's more than enough Oracles to deal with this when they come out of stasis. Oh, the beautiful placement. The beautiful placement. And this means Pig is in a world of hurt. He's had only 53 drones against 69 probes. He doesn't have the critical mass of Hydras. And now the Oracles are bearing down with their pulsar beams and the angry look in their eyes. As he continues across the map, he doesn't have the money to transition, and he doesn't have the units to hold. It's all around a bad spot here. How do you recover from this? He's just making more Hydras, but like I mentioned, this is not nearly as good of a position. Obviously now, it's a terrible position. You don't want to lose all your Hydras. Pro tip, guys. You lose all your Hydras, that's not good. All right. I did the math. More Hydras is better than less Hydras. He's continuing. When there are almost as many Oracles as you have Hydra lists, you are not in a good spot. He doesn't even have any upgrades. There's no +1. There's no kicker. There are no infestors. There's no 4th base. There's not that many drones. That's it. There's nothing. Oh, he catches even more drones. This is looking real ugly. But Puck using the map to his advantage as well. He funneled Pig into one. Okay, all right. A little bit sloppy there. Now, the big weakness of oracles is it's very easy to misuse oracles. If you're caught out, a few get picked off, the momentum can shift. There's another one. He is actually surrounding this flying disco ball with Hydralisk on the ground. It's actually very impressive how Pig is maneuvering here in order to try to catch Puck out. He will get a couple oracles for his trouble. Is that going to be enough to turn the tides? It has to be. It has to be. Alright, more Zealots are going down. Charge is still a long ways off. So Pig's still doing a very good job. Is he actually going to give up this base? He's giving up this base to get Charge. That's what's happening right here. He doesn't have the cannons. That's a hard call to make for Puck right there. Because he probably had enough oracles to defend, but he knows how bad of a spot Pig is in. He knows if he crushes this army once, the game is over. As long as he has a little bit of mining. So he's just building up the oracles. He's cutting off the options. There is no easy path. There's only really one path to attack. Of course, Pig could maybe make some plays here. Charge isn't done yet. The Zealots are on the field. Pig's army supply is still high, but remember, he doesn't have any upgrades. There are no kickers. He needs to take a beautiful fight. The Banelings need to hit every single Zealot. The Oracles need to be a little bit out of position. Pig is struggling, but he still has one fight left in him here. Oh no, not again. The Stasis Ward catches half the Hydras. Charge is done! Just in time! 2 Stasis Wards, 2 incredible fights, and 2 chances going directly into Puck's favor. The Overseer was too slow on seeing it. The Oracles are just waiting for their opportunity. The Hydras will come out of stasis and immediately die. That brings Pig back down to 76 supply. A lot of Oracles out of energy. But, the unit count. GG. WP. 3-3. Game 7. But, I'm not going to put him on Janus for Game 7. I'm not going to do it. As fun as that would be. I don't want that kind of game. I mean, it could be an epic, intense game, but the chances are just too high somebody's going to cheese and not realize how the map works. Now, before we go into Game 7... I want you guys to vote in the Team Liquid map contest. Use the map contest command. You can look over the maps. You get to vote for 5 and in order. You can also see which ones I voted for if you want to factor that in at all. But you don't have to own StarCraft. All you have to do is have a Team Liquid account. Type voted in the forum and post it, as well as click here to vote. The typing in the thread is to verify. You have 57 minutes to do it. You should take at least about a quarter of that time to look over the maps and take a look. But make sure to get your votes in. We're going to Game 7. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this match. $140 will go to the winner, and $60 to second place. But the next game will be to the decider. And we'll see which one of these TL map contest maps A biogenesis is a bit I'm not really showing off the rush maps. I know neither of them have played them very much at all, so I'm thinking Defender's Resort. I mean, well, maybe we'll go to the beach for the end. I think that's a good choice.
Yes, yes, yes. Just
For the pool,
as I
go
deserve.
game 7. All right, 210.
For the pool, go game 7.
Anomaly? Anomaly would be cool. How about this? I will get Defender's Resort for this one, and I'll have them play Arch of Janus after that, just for fun, okay? But I'm not going to put that in for, like, Game 7 on a map no one's played. On players of this caliber. I'm sticking them more with the more standard maps because, obviously, I haven't played them that much. As much as I'd like to show off all the new ones, you wouldn't get games that would really demonstrate too much of how the maps work and all of that, so... Alright. Alright, they're ready to go. Game 7. Toss! Toss! Pig! Pig didn't pick toss. Oh, shit. That didn't work right. Puck didn't pick Protoss in time. And I started the game, and I quit thinking it would end the countdown, but it actually just started without me. So, I don't... It didn't just start. Yeah. I quit and it ended the countdown, so that was good. Alright. Now, for the final game, not that, well, we'll have another match, but the final game of this impromptu map, Team Liquid Map Contest 9 Showdown. With less than 1 hour to vote, use the Map Contest command, or of course check out Team Liquid for that. It is 3-3 between our Australian and American pro gamers. And of course the Zerg, also known as Star-Lord, it is Pig. And the Protoss, also known as Puck, it is Puck. Trying to test out how the wall works here a little bit. This is actually part of the wall. This is a bit more of a residential, or at least a resort area, of course. Defender's Resort is the name of the map. There is no rush distance. Does he mean that's, like, super short? It's not actually that small of a map. What I think is interesting about this map is the third base is more of a decision.
Yes, yes, yes. Just as I
For
deserve.
the pool. Alright.
For the pool, Build it up for that Game 7 hype.
$250 is the total of the pool. Hopefully... Well, hopefully the games already have let them deserve it. We're going to find out who gets the brunt of that. It's 70%, 30% is how we're splitting it. Alright. I just zoned out for a second. Fortunately, nobody's abusing that rush distance yet. It looks like there probably will be some tech over to the side. I can't quite... It's going to be a Twilight Council then. Alright, Twilight Council is the choice. Out of Puck. Is it going to be a Dark Templar drop? It's not unlikely. Of course, I'd love to see some Glaives, maybe. He was commenting on the rush distance, so some Glaive Adepts could maybe be more effective. And it looks like Pig is going to be taking the forward third on this side as opposed to the one on the outside. It's a pretty similar rush distance. It's just kind of dealer's choice, really. For a Protoss, it's a little bit more comfortable to take this base because it's easier to choke it off. But it's still pretty far from your natural, and that's something to factor in. So it is going to be Glaive Adepts. There is no Robo, so very likely to just be the Glaives and then 2 more gates. There it is. It does look... Oh, now we have a Robo added on. Interesting. I'm not exactly sure what Puck's doing with this. Maybe just a Glaive Adept drop into a third. Maybe in lieu of getting too many additional... Wait, he canceled the Glaives and now is going for the Dark Shrine. Okay, so he wanted to do DT drop. He just kind of went a weird direction with it. I'm not sure if he saw something that changed his mind, or if he just made a mistake in the first place. I'm not 100%. Unfortunately, this Adept is going to go down. Alright, there's a Roach Horn on the way. Pig is going to be in a pretty comfortable position, despite how easily defended the first couple bases are, and it actually is a pretty long rush distance. I don't know what they're saying. There are a lot of wide open spaces where Roaches and Hydras can be very effective. You need to be well established as a Protoss player in order to defend. If they get up the ramp, they get a concave, you're going to get run over. Every Protoss knows how that feels. Looks like Puck will be going for this forward base, a little bit closer to his Nat, but harder to defend if they come in from both angles. He's going to need units. He's going to need units. But fortunately for him, he has charge on the way, and he has a Robo done. And it does... Okay, there's the Warp Prism. I was wondering, did he build a Warp Prism? Yep, those are pretty important. When it comes to doing DT drop, you want to be able to drop them. But a handful of Roaches are out. Now, important to note, Pig is at... Wait, does he have a lair? He doesn't have a lair. Did he misjudge this? There's a drop in the main, but the Dark Shrine is already done. DTs are coming in. This is going to get real crazy real fast, because there's no detection for Puck right now, but he doesn't have any DTs at home. There's nothing at home. There is detection for Pig at home, but he doesn't have Overseers. So Puck is going to lose probes. He's probably going to lose his third. The question is, how much damage does he do in return? He might be able to kill the third base. He's coming into the net where there are not that many drones. The overcharge is coming out. There is no layer morphing. He doesn't have the gas right now. So this DT is going to get in, and it's going to do damage. But at the same time, he's breaking through the prot. Down it goes! They're going for like, we got like 10 more. Glad you enjoyed. The probes are going to escape. A single Dark Templar is going to deal with it. There's still a drop in the main. He's dealing with the DTs on the other side. We see the Warp Prism even coming back. The probes are under heavy fire. Puck losing a lot of supply, but remember, he has Dark Templar. He just doesn't have any gateways to warp them in with. The DT, I don't know where the DT went. I'm not entirely sure where it is. He only has a single one right now. He needs these gateways to warp in. Pig is not using all of his units. He doesn't have all his units in the main, but probes are going down. He's down to 25. All of the probes are at the third. He's picked some up into the Warp Prism to try to save them. Puck is going to eventually be able to clean all this up. The pylons are going down in the main. He needs these in order to be able to actually power his basic production. Puck is down to 19 probes. He's picking up probes to save them, which is never a great scenario. Pig is doing a lot of damage. He's up to 38. Puck was not able to get this base. A Spore Crawler is on the way. The main base has been cleared out and depowered. The DTs will eventually clean this all up, and Immortal's going to come out. The third base is still intact, but Puck is down to 37 supply. There is no detection, though. The third base going down makes a huge difference. It's going to be 3 bases versus 2. The Spore Crawler's coming up. If he can get out before that Spore Crawler completes, there is detection now. Losing 3 DTs hurts a lot. He's going to get out of there at the very last second, but another Spore Crawler comes in. We have the War Prism to burrow. This base is taking a lot of fire, but it will not go down. The gateways in the main have yet to be repowered. Puck is scrambling all over the place. It looks like Pig has done enough damage so far and droned up enough at home.
Just as I deserve.
Let's make the pool a bit more interesting.
$100 will do that. About Tree Fitty now. Okay. About Tree Fitty. So, Puck lost a lot of probes. 36 probes. $25 against 44. It's going to be 4 bases here. The Immortal drop is still doing a lot of damage. Puck doing his trademark War Prism Micro. This Immortal is slaughtering roaches, and the DTs aren't going to hurt either. He's doing everything he can with what little he has. The worker count can climb very quickly. Is there much at home to defend? A drop is coming in. He does have the potential for overcharges. It's still only 44 drones. He does have speed on the way, but he can only produce so many units. And Archons and Immortals are very cost-effective for their supply. Yeah, another drop coming in. He has repowered most of his gateways at home. The Lings are coming in from Pig. He's not really reacting to the overcharge, which means he's not going to be able to kill nearly as many probes as he could have. 3 Archons and an Immortal and a Dream. Those are all he has right now as another drop comes towards the main. The Lings in the main base as well as Puck is moving up. Is there actually army to defend? The army supply is way heavier here for Pig. But the value of the army is way better for Puck. The Ravagers are coming up. He's decided not to go for the base. The transfuses are used. A little bit of drop micro here. He can't save all these units, but he can do a lot of damage while he's keeping them alive. He's trying to get out with the Immortal. Some of these Archons are going to go down. He really, really, really doesn't want to lose that War Prism. Unfortunately, the Roach drop in the main means he lost track of it. And that could be the tide turning there. I mean, it's already been looking really bad. But losing that Immortal Archon Warp Prism alongside everything else, that's going to be a massive blow. He really needed that in those units. But now he really doesn't have anything to be able to stop this push. The pylon will go down. Pig is swarming through. There's just not much left. He lost the Nexus. Pig's now on 4 bases. He has the drone count. He actually has upgrades. There's no kicker. There's no War Prism. There are no DTs harassing. You can make a Mortal Archon, but the numbers aren't there. You need 3 bases. You need 6 gases. I mean, he can go for disruptors, but that's way too little and way too late. With that War Prism, most of the hopes of Puck taking this have died. Maybe with a few disruptor shots. I don't know. It's just, I won't exaggerate. It's very unlikely now. It's a numbers game. Pig has made it a numbers game, and that's what you need to do against a player like Puck, who's so good at micro. You give him a little bit of space. That War Prism was doing a lot of work, but a single thing thrown in, that Roach drop, and he lost track of it. Now, he's going to build disruptors, so we might get some fun out of that. And, I mean, nothing Pig is building is a counter to disruptors. The only thing that counters disruptors is a ton of units right now. That's it. All these units are coming back. There are drops on either side as the main army moves into the front. A single disruptor will show up. It needs the most cash money of money shots. It needs such a big hit, and it's not going to get it. There's a drop in the main. The Roaches have cleaned up the Zealots. I'm not sure if all the probes are gone. They were transferred over. The army can barely hold at the front. The last overcharge is there. He can remake the Mothership Core. Some great force fields come out. The Archons and the Immortals are doing their best. The Roach drop in the main is cleaned up with the help of a DT. Puck is holding on with what little he has, but it's very little. He's not even building a second Disruptor now. He's looking for that hit. This is such a cost-effective army. Oh, he takes the shot. He takes the shot. He gets a hit, but it costs him the Ruptor. That's a little bit of momentum. Puck is dragging it back. We've seen Puck in these situations before. He's so good at it, but the Roach drop in the main. He's still at 39 probes. His army's so cost-effective. The numbers are not there. He has these high grounds. He's going to have another Disruptor. He's sending out DTs. The worker count is 63 to 37. Puck has a dream, but the Mutas might crush it. He might finally defend on the ground. He might get enough Immortals, enough Zealots, enough Charge Lots, enough Force Field. But when 10 Mutas come in, what happens then? He's holding so strongly. Puck is trying so hard. But... oh, another nice shot from the side! Puck is defending on both fronts! But the Spire is waiting. A DT tries to come in, but the Spore Spawn is already there. Pig has 4 bases. That has to be disheartening here for Puck. There's no Blink. There are no upgrades. There's not even a Forge for cannons. The Spire is almost done, and there's 1,600 gas in the bank, but he doesn't have the minerals. There's maybe one chance here to push for Puck. He has Archons. He has enough sentries that you can't really engage this army. It's still... the Mutas are the right choice. They're a great choice. We've been saying Puck has been behind ever since the beginning. The DTs didn't do enough. He's held on valiantly. Blink is on the way. I think Puck has to have an idea. The reason why Pig is not pushing anymore is because he's no longer going for that army that's just going to get chunked up by Disruptors. He's going for the Mutas, and they're heading directly towards the main. How many Mutas is that? Only 6, so we can warp in Stalkers. If he splits off the perfect amount, he's up to 52 probes, which is not great. But it's not the end. It's so hard to say, but wait, because Pig is handling this well. Puck is handling it incredible as well. This is what looked to be the end of the game. Puck has turned into a game. As he's held on for so long, the Mutas are building up forces. A DT is taken out on the southern flank. A 4th base is probably in Puck's future here. The Mutas are going to swing into the main. Only 6. Only 6. But right as Puck wants to move out. And this is... Puck knew this was a strong possibility. Why do you think he's getting Blink? Why do you think he's preparing? He knows he has to split this perfectly. That's a lot of units. And Disruptors, it's hard to hit Lings and Banes. They just get on top of you. They get up close and personal, and then the Disruptors are doing more friendly than unfriendly fire. Another base is looking to be taken. Pig is coming in from 3 angles. He's got Mutas at the back. He's got Roach, Hydra, Baneling on the left, up the center. And on the right, another flank as well. A big hit comes out from the Disruptors. He tries to save one. Another shot comes out, shaves off another Hydra. He'll move the units into position, but he still doesn't have that 4th base. Puck is getting Blink. There's still no Hive tech, right? There is a Hive. No Broodlords, but there is a Hive. It does look like he's looking for an opportunity to finish things off. He's looking for the killing blow. He does need to transition to Broodlords to potentially end the game, though he does have the army supply to potentially smash right now. Here it comes. The 1, 2, 3 from all sides. We got the Mutas in the back. The Lings and Banes on one side. Force fields wall off one angle. The Archons will deflect the other. A lot of Lings were trapped there, and suddenly 20 supply is gone. Puck actually masterfully blocked that. But as soon as it is, Pig realizes, all right, no more playing around. Broodlords, Adrenal Glands, +2, +3, Ultralisk Cavern. No more Mr. Nice Zerg. Don't give Puck what he wants. Don't give him those Disruptor shots. His +1 upgrades are just now starting. Puck is still at 50 probes. That is not what you want. But that means his army supply is quite strong. He's actually ahead. A DT sees these units coming in. Do we have any Corruptors? No Corruptors on the way. I think if he goes for Ultralisk, that could actually be a mistake. Okay, there's money in the bank. He's going for Ultras. He has money. This Phoenix is going to be very unhappy in a second. It will be happy to scout, but unhappy to see. Let's take a look at Puck's vision. He's in the main. He should look at the main in a second. We'll see. He just sent that Phoenix in. He doesn't actually see the Greater Spire or the Ultralisk Cavern. Well, he hasn't looked at them yet, but he's got to know. There's a reason this army hasn't come back. Why won't Puck die? Why won't you die? You're supposed to be dead. You were supposed to be dead 10 minutes ago. Pig is on 6 bases. He's on 71 drones, which isn't that many. He has every upgrade and tech pretty much in the book. Chitinous Plating, 3-3, Greater Spire, Adrenal Glands. But Puck is not dead, and that's what he has going for him. I've casted games like this before. If you watched my YouTube at all, you'll know one of the closest games I ever casted was with Puck. With Disruptors and Blinkstalkers coming back from down 70 supply against a Terran player with next to no workers. One of the scrappiest games I've ever watched or casted. And this is getting scrappy, is what's happening. Puck has all the units he needs to be able to micro. It's just Pig has all the bases he needs to be able to macro. And this is a death ball. This is a Zerg death ball. There are Banelings to roll through the front 9. There are Broodlords to chunk through the rest. He needs Archons. He needs incredible Disruptor hits. He needs good Blinkstalker positioning. He needs target fire on the Ultras. There's still only 53 probes. These Broodlords finding a really nice position. Thankfully, Puck has more money over here, but he has to pick a fight. He can't let this keep happening. The Broodlords being targeted down on the right side. One will go down, but the Disruptors are caught in front. More shots will go out. They will not connect. A lot of the Disruptors die immediately, but big shots on the Banelings. He's holding on so far. Puck is doing his best. The Immortals are going to help out a lot, but the Broodlords are just so hard to get to. They're doing so much damage at the front. The Immortals are gone. Puck is dropping to 100 supply. More Stalkers are being warped in, but without the Immortals, the Ultralisk gain a lot more value. Archons are still good, but are they good enough? He has to blink underneath, but he can't blink too close, or the blades of the Ultras. They're too much. Pig will win, 4-3, able to maintain the momentum just barely, and take it. He finishes it. All right. But Puck with a valiant defense. But, so the prize. So that's the end of the series. My shoulders are killing me. Puck says it's pretty hard to play on new maps as Protoss. I'll play against Pig if he wants to play. If Puck... I'll find someone to play. Puck says he'll cast. Puck will cast. I'm gonna play. That's how it's gonna go. So if you go to Puck's stream, he will cast me and Pig playing on Arch of Janus. But, by the way, guys, 30 minutes left to vote in the map contest. You have barely enough time to look over the maps. But use the map contest command. Well, Puck has been playing all day. He doesn't really want to play anymore. It's very late for people with normal schedules, so. Is the situation. We're gonna play on Arch of Janus. Whenever Pig is ready to go. And after the map contest, after the voting ends, I'm going to be sending out the prize pool. 70% is going to Pig, so that is... Nope, I'm not even going to... I'm going to fuck up this math. I'm going to fuck it up. It's like 230 something. Mm-mm-mm. 252 to Pig and 108 to Puck. Okay. I'll be sending that to them. We're still playing the maps, but I want everybody to vote in the map contest.
Good luck and have fun.
Welcome to Arch of Janus, where we start with a gold. Time for some 2-probe harass.
Your darling probes are under attack.
My precious probes. We got the 2 gas, though. He's not walling. 2 barracks are on the way. I don't know if stealing... I think on a gold-based map, stealing gas is a good idea.
You can't warp in on top of stuff.
We'll have to see as we hide in the bushes.
They're attacking
Or in the,
your base.
I guess they're not
Start
bushes.
freaking out.
Also, I completely forgot. To get a pylon for a Mama Core.
You must construct additional pylons.
Which will kind of cut into my
You have 2 in a
build
geyser
here.
somewhere.
We are the flame. Na Adan Atu.
You can't warp in on top of stuff.
Justice be done.
Glory to the
My carefully laid plans.
Najakar. We await.
My meditation commands me. For Artanis.
There is a factory in my base.
In silence.
This is fine.
Stand as one.
Defense systems failing.
We need a forge.
There is restricted. Do what I do.
Glory to the Daemon. Hordes alive.
You must construct additional pylons.
Down the iron shall
I'm supply blocked.
Your probe
Rip.
is so upset he can't build there.
He's finally getting this gas out.
The firstborn shall persevere. Give us your command.
Another adept is coming up.
Glorious combat is upon us.
We've almost got warp gate done now. So messy. That means these mine out a lot faster though.
Dimensional extrapolating strings. Dynamic. Nala, let us begin.
Do what I do. Build 4 pylons right now and forget about...
Successful. Engaging the enemy.
We interpret
I saw.
as all are one.
Oh, the probes!
Extra.
Get down there. Give me another. Oh wait, there's another base.
Prohibitor. Probes and pylons, and you've forgotten pylons.
Glory to
Mineral field empty. Send those workers to a new base.
I'm mining out.
Is so upset
It like,
he can't build
but
there.
if I mine out, I can go to the other. I can go over here. I can go over here and expand.
Warping there is
He'll never
our
expect
fate.
mineral field
my
depleted.
beautiful place.
It is destined. Yes, exactly. We and Erodine Washagal. Where shall we march? It shall be. How can I aid you? We interpret. Give us your command. We serve with pride.
We've actually unlocked the rest of the map by mining out the main. That's how this works, guys. Get these mules.
Falling.
What's back here? There's a whittle mine?
All out of
Oh,
minerals.
shit.
No can do. Out of minerals.
How many probes did it get?
Workers are on it.
Oh my god. I think it just got about 10.
No more minerals, which makes
Are you kidding me?
a back row god.
Oh, there's still a fucking...
On the wings of justice.
Guide. We await. Starware is coming.
How many it has 12.
Where do our enemies
You've maxed your line of mineral credit.
This is also a gold base, though. But he also has, like, unlimited...
Glory to
Oh, I
the
never
Daemon.
killed this shit.
All out.
I have met the end.
You've maxed your line of mineral credit. Not.
The firstborn shall persevere.
You're all out of mineral. You're not playing Terran. Place that in a power field.
Glory to the Daemon.
No more.
Ah, he
minerals.
dodged it! By lifting the Viking.
I stalk.
Ire shall
Warpfield.
not.
I am eager to strike.
He's trying to target probes with this.
I have met the enemy.
Time for battle.
Come
Out of minerals. But your workers are on it.
Okay,
The
I got rid of his
firstborn shall
factory.
persevere.
But he still has the starport, obviously.
On the wings of justice.
He's floating over.
Anan Porkal.
Oh, there's air blockers! There's air blockers across the entire thing! I can't, I'm trapped in! I can't get out!
I stalk through the stars. I am eager to strike. The skies await.
We serve with pride.
He can't get out either! He's trapped too!
Time for Warfield
We serve.
successful.
I have met the enemy. Yes, Executor. Boards alive. To glory. The Templar march. The first
Engaging the enemy. I will comply. I stalk through the stars.
I have met the enemy.
Full Templar. On the wing.
We require more Vespine gas. You're out of gas.
Stop losing all the fucking phoenixes. He can't get out till he mines out. This is how it works.
Understood.
You're a little low on gas.
Engaging the enemy.
You're out of gas. Do you have two in a geyser somewhere?
Ah, fuck!
I will comply. Successful.
We require more Vespine gas.
I am eager to strike.
To glory.
So messy.
Glory to the Daemon. Let your come.
Where do our enemies lurk?
A mineral patch just went.
The firstborn shall persevere. Where shall we? Glory to the Daemon. Yes,
Warfield online.
we serve with pride.
Time for battle.
Where is he?
Najakar Mina.
Engaging the enemy.
Forward. Faith before fear.
I don't know about this position.
The temple. Let your will be.
That was a bad call.
Teleport successful.
The firstborn shall persevere.
But if I can get +1 in
You're
glaives,
a
did I get
little
+1?
low
I
on
did
gas.
not.
Mineral field depleted.
We serve with pride.
Mineral field empty. Send those workers to
Anon. Teleport successful.
Glory to the Daemon.
You've maxed your line of mineral credit.
The firstborn shall persevere.
He's trying to. He can't get his command center out because you have to fly.
The skies await.
Oh my god.
Najakar Mina. Glory to the Daemon.
I'm gonna go take this
Upgrade
base.
complete.
You can't.
Time for
I got the glaives done.
The firstborn.
I don't have +1. He can try to drop maybe, but
You've maxed your line of mineral field empty.
I have no detection
Send
if he
those
gets
workers to a
Widowmines.
new base.
Glory to
No more minerals, which makes you
the firstborn shall
That's stem.
persevere.
not enough minerals.
Glory to the Daemon. Give up. The firstborn shall persevere.
Upgrade complete.
Yes.
Uh-oh, units out of energy.
Let's just take the worst possible fight that we could ever take. Let's do that. That would probably be the best way to do this.
I am eager to
The firstborn shall persevere.
You can't warp in on top of stuff. Not enough minerals.
Glory.
You're all out of minerals. No can do.
teleport successful.
Shall persevere. severe.
Your probe is so upset he can't build there. Mineral field empty. Send those workers to a new base. Not enough energy.
We serve with pride.
Fortunately for him, phoenixes do fly. Those stems. You gotta lay off the needle.
I have met the enemy.
You've maxed your line of mineral credit.
I stalk.
We serve with pride.
Welcome to Arch of Janus.
Where we reach. Fire shall be reclaimed. The Templar.
Nobody ever.
Glory to the day. Let none deter us.
Good game!
What a fucking mess that map is. It's pretty great though, right? Like, but it's a fun map, but like here's another one. Well, not this one. I guess we're calling it Dog's Garden. You have 15 minutes to vote, guys. 15 minutes to vote. 300 votes in, which means if you vote now, your vote still matters. Use the map contest command. But, all you have to do is follow the link or go to Team Liquid and see the voting. And you have to have a Team Liquid account. You got to make an account. Look at the maps. Choose your top 5. So you have to fill out the form and post in thread. Those are both things you have to do. And make sure you look at the maps. The winner will likely be in the ladder map pool at the very least. Yeah, I'd rather. I wonder how far it will get with. You know what? While we're doing this, I'm gonna donate the prize pool. So what was it? $252 to Pig and $108 to Puck. Because we're splitting at 70-30.
One last one, Winter?
Oh, he's typing to me in the chat. I'm busy though. Did it work? And we're gonna of course get Pig's official reaction while you guys are voting. You're voting right now. I'm doing nothing right now. I'm just giving them their prizes.
I'm gonna show it on screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at, so you don't feel left out.
But use the map contest command. We're making sure this goes through.
Yeah. I don't think we can have too many massive maps because it would be a little bit unfair to Terran, but some cool shit. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Check this out. Team Liquid map contest finalists. So Backwater, that was actually a pretty good map. I actually quite like that map. That's the map I broke.
There you go.
I broke Puck on when I thought I wouldn't. I thought I was dead. Oh Jesus, guys! Winter just donated
That is mostly you guys.
winnings.
Congratulations to Pig.
He says a real. I like that I'm accepted into.
There you go. And now we're gonna donate to Puck if you go to his stream. This is how we're distributing the prize pool. This is the simplest way. $108 it was. Yeah, 360 in total. Just making sure it goes through. You guys, 10 minutes to vote. Okay, this is your last chance. Okay, did it work?
Maybe I'll stream some Overwatch.
That's not what I want to hear right before I'm going to give you $108 in winnings.
Do I have any friends that play Overwatch?
This is not... Okay, we'll get that one
Thanks for
too.
all the follows. Glad you're all enjoying yourselves.
I'm just making sure it went through. Does he have a delay on? I'm not sure. He might have a delay. Doesn't look like it's too long.
Where's my friends list at? Right here?
He has a delay?
And there they have no friends that play Overwatch.
Oh, there we go.
Hey.
Yeah, we got it. He has like a minute delay on. Just for the dramatic end. Alright. I'm playing on Anomaly. Nine minutes to vote. Oh my god, that mini map.
Not enough minerals. Out of minerals. But your workers are on. must construct additional pylons.
This whole, like, there are still bridges you can get by with smaller groups of units. But the probe automatically takes like the closest distance. It's still quite a rush distance between the bases. With the Cybercore. You can play this a little more standard than Arch of Janus, though. Is the thing.
You've maxed your line of mineral credit.
Don't want to let them steal the game.
Workers are on it.
I'm trying to time out the Reaper, but I have no idea exactly the pathing it's going to take. So is there a jump point? Yeah, you can jump right there with the Reaper.
You must construct additional pylons. Your base is under attack.
Oops.
Your darling probes are under attack.
The firstborn shall
Oh no, my probe! I would take Reaper for a probe. It wasn't really a trade, but
ire shall be.
anyways.
We Cyweb established. Where shall we march? Give us your command. Let your will be heard.
There are 5 minutes to vote, guys. It's your last chance.
Forward. Let none deter us. To glory. Hordes alive. Yes, let your will be heard. Fate, combat over. We serve with pride. It shall be. Give us your command.
You're a little low on gas. Warping there is strictly prohibited.
Yeah,
You
he's gonna get
must
that
construct
eventually.
additional pylons.
What?
Research complete.
Guide us.
Did he have any more? No, he didn't.
I see. Our fate. It is destined. Harmonized.
Punish the enemy attacking your base.
The enemy has discovered us. The stars align.
With one adept, I should have enough.
The firstborn shall persevere. Harmonized.
Get the +1. Way more gates.
Guide.
And he has no way to put on pressure.
Teleport successful.
No more minerals, which makes you a macro god.
The threads of fate
Where do our...
Not enough minerals. Out of minerals, but your workers are on it.
Na Zuktai.
Teleport successful.
Is there something else going on I don't know about here?
The enemy has discovered us. It is...
You're out of gas. Do you have two in a geyser somewhere? You gotta place that in power.
Is there any way he has?
Teleport. The sky.
Aya. Sigh where this damaged.
Your probe is so upset, she can't build it. No more minerals.
Teleport successful.
We're looking to be in a pretty good spot here.
To the Daylong.
Except for the fact I have no idea if there are drops coming in. Oh yeah, this is an island, I forgot. Where did I put that robo? I still don't have a robo. That's why. I didn't see it. It's because I didn't have it.
Upgrade complete. Out of minerals, but your workers are on it.
The firstborn shall persevere.
Teleports. Understood.
Mineral field depleted. Not an upgrade complete. Time for a timing push? You've maxed your line of mineral.
Alright, the voting has ended. We're gonna find out
Not
what you guys voted for.
Our window is short. The firstborn shall persevere.
Soon enough.
Glory to the
Do I have glaives done? Yeah, I
You
do.
require more mineral field empty. Sacrifice those workers to free up supply.
It's glory to the Daylong.
I stalk through the stars. The skies await.
Maybe don't fight in that position. Maybe don't fight in the worst position ever. Maybe don't do that.
I am the firstborn shall persevere.
Maybe don't.
You can't warp in.
This
on
is always
top
my
of
problem. It's like I always do this in this matchup. It's like we could be in a great spot, or we could just instead not do that.
Glorious combat is upon us. The firstborn shall persevere.
Where? Wolf? Anon?
Do what I do. Build 4 pylons right now and forget about
Glory to the Daylong. Glory to the Daylong.
The time warp actually did help out after a bit there.
upgrade complete.
There's the +2.
The skies await.
The firstborn shall persevere. We serve.
On the wing.
Where shall we watch?
Warping no more minerals.
Do we have more gates? We do.
Back.
The firstborn shall persevere.
Teleports.
Glory to the Daylong.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this
Your
guy.
probe is you max your line. Can't ever credit.
The firstborn.
Not enough minerals.
Anon?
Oh no, our base is under attack. All out of minerals. No can do.
The firstborn shall persevere. I have met the end.
Teleport successful.
Najakar enough.
No more mineral field empty. Sacrifice.
The firstborn shall persevere. It is come and Erodine Washagal. Where shall we mark?
You've maxed your line of mineral credit.
We meet our fate.
I just sent a lot of probes to a random location. I don't know where I sent them, but it wasn't towards where they were supposed to go.
Fire, shout. The threads of fate lie bare. We serve with pride.
You can't warp in on top
Don't
of
ask.
stuff.
Where are you going? Where are you going, you idiots? Some pretty great splits there.
Not enough minerals.
Glory to the day.
Mineral patches.
Give us your I have met the enemy.
Mineral field.
Glory to
Mineral field empty. Send those workers to it.
nudge. Ire. Shout.
Time for battle.
I choked so hard in PvT. I almost did it there, and I knew I was way ahead, but I almost did it on the first couple fights. Thank you to Pig and Puck for participating as well. Hopefully you enjoyed their series. Me and Pig playing a couple games. But hopefully you vote in the map contest. So... and I was thinking about not even streaming tonight, but that turned out because I was really tired before I started streaming because I've been up for like all day. If you take a look at our match, Lego Akin. Congratulations to Pig, who beat Puck in ZVP, winning $252. And Puck winning 108. 4-3 was the score.